You had an interesting article just this past week about how, in a social justice era, you feel that many players have dropped the ball when it comes to advocacy concerning COVID.
Yeah, really quick. This is the 10 years. You go back to Trayvon Martin, you go to Kaepernick, you go to George Floyd and Jacob Blake and everything else. This period of time is going to be remembered as the return of the athlete's voice. When the athlete got involved, WNBA getting involved in Georgia, the whole thing. They have undermined almost all of that with how the players have handled COVID, at least a lot of the prominent ones, whether you're talking about Aaron Rodgers, you're talking about Kyrie Irving, it's the same thing. So to me, the issue that I was trying to make is that at the end of the day, they simply have not realized you're supposed to be part of the solution here, and you haven't been.
You know, when I watch a game and I see all these insipid, anodyne slogans, stop hate.
It takes all of us.
It takes all of it, right. Inspire change. Hey, I'm good with that. Where do I go? Where do I never hated you to begin with, but okay, where do I go to remedy this situation? On the other hand, there could be, and let's not call anybody out individually, but if prominent and popular players said, hey, I'm vaxxed, you should be too, not just for your own health, but it's the proper thing to do for your community, wouldn't that have a practical effect?
Well, here's the thing. If you've decided that you wanted to be a prominent player out front on these things, then we do have to call names in this moment. And there's no way to avoid. LeBron James said that he did not view the vaccine as being, I think he said racial justice was the way he put it, but basically it's not being the same thing as racism. And yes, it is a matter of race. Go look up what it is. Like, that to me exposed the simplicity in the thought process that I think was kind of damning and kind of needs to be explored a little bit more. COVID is kicking Black America's ass, and everybody sees it, and the numbers have been staggering, and it's left a lot of dead people. And then to then say, hey, this is just a personal decision. I just don't think that this is the time for that if you assign yourself as a leader, which a lot of people, including him, have done.
Isn't this kind of disappointing? First of all, it's obvious LeBron James is one of the greatest players of all time. He's also a good human being. What he's done with the Promise School and many of the stances he's taken, this is a good man. But somebody's got to take his Twitter account away from him. Okay, he just says
the Spider-Man meme did not go over well, conflating this to the flu.
He says ill-considered things.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think you pointed out all the positive things about LeBron James, and you were fair about what you said to him. But when you're in this position, whether you choose it or not, when you're put there is an extra level of responsibility, which is ironic that the Spider-Man meme is what comes up, because with great power comes great responsibility. So I would not necessarily suggest that LeBron James needs to be up to date on every current event issue.
Of course not.
But when you weigh in, you need to be informed because of that great responsibility, specifically to the people that need it the most, frankly. Like, I'm not sure that there's anybody who's more influential. And maybe it's just because I'm getting old. There's probably some younger player or something that's more influential. But to young Black men, I'm not sure that there's anybody who's more powerful than LeBron James.